Welcome to Kachai with Lucky. Listen, by the way, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is Kachai with Lucky. You can send us messages if there's any concern that you have, and we shall discuss it here. We are on all socials. That is Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. The hashtag there is Kachai with Lucky. And today we're simply looking at your concerns and reacting to them. And the first concern, Brian and Mariam, is really this guy is complaining that at first the wife was, tasting good, in terms of sex. But now he has noticed a few years later, whenever they have sex or they are intimate, he does not feel her anymore. She's no longer sweet. So he's asking, how do I get that sweetness back? Brian.
Okay. Wonderful. That's a beautiful one.
Right.
Many times you go through this series of sweetness. A man says the woman is not sweet. Even, fine. But one thing I've noted about sweetness, sweetness might be an energy. Sex is an energy.
Right.
You might feel somebody, like I can feel you lucky, crazy, like even when you just put it in your armpits, I'll be you're sweet.
Right.
And then I go to Mariam and I'm feeling different. But this is what we need to address. Because the man says, after a long time, the sweetness has been diluted or run down.
That's what happens in marriages, isn't it?
It can happen because of the energy it
consistent.
creates. And men actually make mistakes of thinking, if I've been with Lucky for 10 years, and then I find Mariam who is 21 years, no babies, no nothing, they're supposed to be flowing at the same level. But also, coming back to the biology of that,
the womanhood, yes.
The womanhood of sweetness. This is what people never understand, that there's nothing natural about sex. So this man who actually believes the woman who has given you 2, 3 children is going to be the same. First of all, sometimes even the tightness changes. So when you don't feel the tightness anymore, you feel like it's not sweet anymore. Also, this woman has been using family planning methods that actually take away the whole drive for sex. Because what makes one sweet if they're into it? Sometimes married women put it for a chore he wants, and you put there.
So you're saying it's our responsibility to make it sweet?
No, I'm just giving an example. When sweetness is broad, but when I'm doing you and you're not part of the story, because women sometimes the guy just dives, is actually got you mad.
There are also men who just kiss and enter.
Yeah, so the sweetness can be a cordial, a connection. He's doing the right thing, I am doing the right thing, but sweetness is broad. So this feeling of not sweetness, where the sugar is reduced or something like that, comes from places of energy, how I feel about you, how you're responding to me, how I'm dealing with the thing, because most men think every girl must be the same. But the science of this guy downstairs is like a tank. He tests.
But Mariam, some women would say, though, that there are also men who sometimes lose their taste. What would you say? Yeah.
Like Lucky said, every day is not Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
That's number one. Number two, if she was sweet before, what has happened now? Revisit why. Why. What were you doing different then? Because every time is different. You know that.
Yeah.
Today you cannot do it the same way. Tomorrow you experience something. So what was happening before that made it sweet that it's not sweet now?
Right.
The issue with sex again is communication.
Yeah.
If you're not communicating to one another and you're just coming on the side and saying, oh, my woman is not sweet anymore. Have you talked to her? Have you found out what the problem is? What is the problem? Oh, here and there. You need to talk about your intimacy without talking about it.
The funny thing is, he might be complaining that she is not, tasty, and she's also feeling like you're not tasty, because of where sex is and where you are in your relationship. What does she... for me, I believe that before you actually have the sex, what has she been doing?
Exactly.
Do you go to your woman when she's tired? What time do you come to? When she's absolutely tired in the night and you want to have sex, how do you think she's going to feel? Because for a woman to feel, it is more psychological. It must come from here. And if she's not feeling, that place is not going to water. No matter what you do, if she ain't feeling you, that place is going to be dry as a desert. So find out, why is it that my woman is no longer into it, is no longer pouring the water that she used to water before. Sometimes it's not even medical. Most of the time it is she's tired, she's now have children to take care of. How you approach, some of you just come, I want to have sex. Hey, Gundi.
Just holding.
Now, let me give you this example. Do you know, Lucky, there's somebody you would kiss and feel the kiss is good. And there are those you would kiss and what was that? You can take water, and this water is not tasty. This is basically water. This is what happens. These gadgets actually go stale. For example, A woman can have many, say, infections, or can use different things, and it changes the whole pH of the vagina. It doesn't feel, of the place. It doesn't feel that really a vagina as it's supposed to be feeling. So when you're dealing with that gadget down there, understand that when you change its code of operation, we've had women put different things, wash with this, wash with that. So it changes the whole code of how it's supposed to be. One day a guy said, I don't know what's wrong with this woman. Her thing doesn't smell like a thing anymore. Like, you see, that girl has a smell, the natural one. So when the natural one is dead, I will be eating like I'm eating frigorito. You know frigorito? Those white things that are in the fridges. They have no water. So when you're dealing with sweetness, it's a very sensitive topic for me, but also how the environment feels around. Back to us men. When you're dealing with a girl who says she was dry before or she was sweet before, now she's no longer sweet, check the events that have taken forth. When you go to a woman who is retiring to dead, don't expect the same performance. Now, you go back to a young girl who's 21 years, who is fit, who is doing everything, and you think she's sweeter. No, every woman can be sweet, depending on the environment they're in.
Okay, so next thing we're going to discuss, in the next episode, is whether or not men can also be untasty, and how we can reverse that, just to continue the conversation.
Yes.